In the back, wave your hands, you can hear me? Yes? Sweet, awesome. Welcome to Airstrip. If you're at our first one, then welcome back. If you're here, welcome to. Weather's awesome, everything's great. Quick notes are, it is a half-mile side-by-side roll racing event. So you're all here to race some cars and have some fun. And the one thing that we have to say is it's all about safety. If you want to do it again, you have to be safe. If you want to keep your car safe, you want to keep your person safe, you want to keep your kids safe, you just have to be really safe. So, number one, the thing we want to say this before anything is to be safe with everything. Even before we talk about how everything's going to go, just know that you can always elect to run by yourself. If you want to feel out the runway, feel out the braking zones, run by yourself, that's totally fine, it's no problem. If you want to data log or do V-box runs, totally fine as well. But that's basically how it's going to go. So, there's two groups. Red group is a higher horsepower group, 700 plus. Blue is 700 and below. If you're on that line, we can move you around. It's not a problem. They're not concrete. But just so everyone gets in fair runs, if you're in a red group and want to run someone in blue, you have to let us know. But that's fine. So how it's going to work is first, blue group is going to go out. And when we say go out, there's basically going to be a pre-grid that's on the far end, right before you enter the taxiway. You'll see there's a big orange cone. So you're going to line up in your pairs behind that cone, and then the blue GTR is going to guide you guys out to the grid. We're going to run from the far end this way. So grid's going to go, you're going to stay on the left side of the lane, because we need to keep the right lane open for immediate fire rescue, things like that. You're all going to just go out, you have to bring your helmets, you don't need to wear your helmets because you're always going to go out to the grid and then you're going to be sitting a little bit, things will go a little slower. The way we're breaking it down, because there's only two groups, is that way there's about 50 cars per group, so you're not waiting in line with 100 cars all day long. So you can basically run, you come back, you check your car for 30 minutes, and then your next group will probably be up in another 20 minutes. So blue group will go out, you're going to line up in pairs all the way down the grid once you get guided out there by Jason and the GTR. Then when he says for you guys to go, you're going to see there's a little turnout, and two guys are going to come in the turnout facing the runway perpendicular. So to enter the runway, there's going to be a turn onto the runway, so you're going to have speed entering the runway. So you're basically going to come straight, it's probably about 20-30 miles per hour side by side, there's cones in between you, and you're both going to take the turn together, probably at about 20 or 30, and then a little under a tenth of a mile up is the go cone. So it's not like last time where you guys are just going to roll into it side by side. When you both hit the go cone, you hit it, you can go flat out for, it's actually, to be exact, about 0.45 miles, which gives you almost exactly a half mile of acceleration and a half mile of braking. So you can go flat out all the way to the second cone, which is right about there, actually, so you can see where the finish is going to be. So when you go through that, then you just want to let off, get on the brake, feel it out your first couple runs. If you want to run by yourself, especially the guys who are running, 1,000 wheel, 1,100 wheel, feel it out your first couple runs. We did testing yesterday in the wet with a 1,000 wheel 4GT, and he was hitting 180s with plenty of room. So that should make you feel a little better. Or scare you a little bit, that cause you're running 180.
Or worse.
But yeah, so that is going to be very simple. Once you finish the run, make sure you go to the very end of the runway. The return road is basically literally at the very end of the runway. So you're going to do the whole run, go to the very end, you're going to make a right, and you're going to come back on the taxiway, and you'll see where we block off, and you come right in along this hangar, and you come right back to the grid area. And then that was your run. Hang out for another 20, 30 minutes or 40 minutes. We'll announce when, red group is to the pre-grid, which means you can get your cars ready, start to line up, and we'll guide you out again. And it's just going to run like that all day. So the faster that you guys kind of get through it, get back in the pre-grid, the sooner we can get more people out, the more runs you get in. So at our last event, most cars were getting 6, 7, 8 runs in.
Mike's tired.
Today, I don't see why cars can't get 9, 10 runs in if no one blows up, no one crashes, and everyone's pretty safe about it and quick. So that's something you should know. Also, in the pre-grid area, speed limit is 15 miles per hour. So there's a lot of pedestrians, people, kids, dogs. Just be very safe. Again, it's all fun. It's all very cool.
Yeah, just like Ryan said, really the emphasis that we have here is going to be safety. If we see something going on with your vehicle, we're going to be watching the cars come by. And if you're, you know, kicking up a bunch of smoke or you're leaking any fluid, we're going to pull you down and take a look at your car. And once again, we tested yesterday. We're being really conservative with the braking zones. I mean, unless you're making 1,500 wheels, there's no reason why you can't stop very easily before the end of this run. So, again, your first run, take it easy. If you want to, you know, get off the throttle a little bit before the braking zone, you can. But you'll see after your first run that you have plenty of room to brake. And when we say get on the brakes, you know, you do want to get on the brakes, but we're not talking about getting an ABS and getting the car all slowly, okay? Just get on the brakes, nice and firm, and you'll slow down. I mean, yesterday I did runs in my car, and a couple runs I didn't even have to really hit the brakes much at all. I just let off the gas, and I'll slow down quite a bit before the end of the runway, okay? So we're going to get started right away.
Also, if anything happens, your motor blows, something happens, stop where you are. You don't want to drag oil or coolant or anything all the way down. So pull up to the side, stop. We're in contact with the tow-truck drivers. They'll come out, tow you back to the pre-grid, and then we'll keep it moving. If people are braking, then it just slows down everyone else, and everyone hates you. So make sure you check, you know, your lug nuts, fluids, all that.
When we say stop, we mean pull over and stop. Don't stop in the middle of the runway and leave a puddle of oil. So if something happens to your car, that's obvious. Pull off into the dirt. I mean, you're going to get towed off anyways, but don't ruin the day for everybody else, okay? Okay, and lastly, we're going to get started after this. Okay, we're going to start with the blue group. So if you have a blue run group sticker, you can pull up to the cone that's down there on the end. Real quick, I'm not done yet, guys. Listen up. Right here, after your run, we're going to stop certain cars. Okay, we're going to be pulling video off of your GoPros and your SD cards. Okay, you don't have to do this, but we would like to get some video. Yeah, we're not going to delete it. We're just going to make a copy of it so that we can make a lot of videos and make you famous on YouTube. And that's pretty much it. And especially if you have a BMW, we have an agreement with Beamer Post. They're going to post a bunch of really cool exclusive videos on Beamer Post for all the BMW videos. So if you have a BMW, especially after you run, stop over here. We've got a couple of guys here that are going to just be downloading SD cards all day. Okay? Anybody have questions? Okay, we'll see blue group on grid.